Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us to another episode on Loose Bottom. Today we are with the amazing and super talented Marc, who is the cooking therapist. Tonight we are at Celino's Italian restaurant on the west end of Glasgow. How are you, Marc? Tell us.
Yeah, good, thanks.
How are you finding it?
Yeah, well, I'm enjoying all this atmosphere in here tonight. It smells amazing.
Excellent. So obviously, as the cooking therapist, tell us a little bit about you. How you came up with that name? What makes you the cooking therapist?
Okay, yeah. So I work in the NHS as a therapist. So I work in mental health. That's my day job and my career.
Okay.
But for me, cooking has always been like a big part of my own therapy. So it's kind of my own way of like relaxing, de-stressing. So that's what I spend most of my time doing outside of work. So if I'm not cooking, I'm thinking about food.
What is your take on Italian food? Do you like Italian food? What's your favorite Italian food?
Oh, well, if you could fill a swimming pool with tiramisu, I would jump in. Like, I love that so much. But I think I love most Italian food. The kind of Italian food we eat over here is very, very carb heavy, which I'm very much for.
Okay.
It involves a lot of cheese, tomatoes, garlic, so a lot of the good hitters, and it's got all the nice meats and things like that as well, so I love it all.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, so today we got a few items that we're gonna try. So the first item that we have is the famous arancini. Have you had arancini before?
I have, yes.
Do you know how to make arancini?
I do, yes.
Excellent.
Might not be as good as this, but
Well, let's tuck in and then we find out whether if it's as good as the one you made.
fabulous.
There we are. So I'll let you go first.
Oh, thanks. Shall I go a half?
Please do.
Yeah, crack into them and see what they're like.
What would you say makes a perfect arancini?
So I would say it has to be really cheesy and gooey in the middle.
Okay.
It has to be nice and crunchy breadcrumbs on the outside, and I think if you can get that nice balance.
Would you say it's almost like a Scotch egg?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
So I kind of, when I'm at home, if I've got leftover risotto, I make what I call flattened cini, because I can't be bothered deep frying. So I'll do them like a fish cake.
Okay.
But as long as they're crispy, they're good.
This season we're basing our podcast in how important food is for mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So, how important is food for you? Like outside your work, what would you think that food is important in your life?
Yeah, food isn't just like kind of fuel for me. It never really has been. For me, it's kind of like if I'm usually thinking about my next meal. I always have my next meal planned. I'm not somebody that can go through life without knowing what I'm eating next. So it's a kind of anchor point for me.
Okay.
But I find like that time where you're having your meals is a real point in your day where you can kind of de-stress and unwind.
Excellent. How would you think your friends describe you as a cook?
Probably very generous. I have friends over all the time,
Okay.
and I'm a bit of a feeder. So when they come and sit down, like I can't possibly, they'll be stuffed by the time they
So
finish.
you do the full shebang of starter, main course, and dessert.
Yep. When I
Brilliant.
can,
Excellent.
yeah.
Well, let's talk about this food. How you find it? Do you like it?
This is delicious. It's definitely passing the test.
We got this gorgeous Parmesan crisp.
Absolutely, and I'm loving that tomato sauce. I always think in places like this, the tomato sauce just tastes so much better when you make it at home.
So that takes me to the next question. Obviously, how you feel about fresh local produce? Are you a loyal foodie that uses most
Yes,
fresh produce? Or
I have become a lot more like that over the years. I used to check. I really didn't understand seasonality a few years ago. Like I was so used to having everything available in the supermarket all the time. Whereas I think now I really appreciate the seasons a lot more. So like January, it's like Seville oranges, blood oranges, and then the forced rhubarb comes out, then the wild garlic. So now I'm much more tuned into what's good just now.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a big difference when to what you're eating.
like, I don't know how you feel about this, but since COVID, do you think people are now more like into having like house parties and dinner parties at home, or do you think the culture still remains the same, that people want to go anytime?
No, I think it is changing. It's certainly like, so it's hard, like for me, since I was about 15 or 16, my idea of a good night was having people around for dinner. I was a bit like, I'm a bit of a kind of 60-year-old at heart, so it's always waiting for everyone else to catch up. But I think with COVID, people started to appreciate their homes a lot more. And I think people like spending time there now. And I think the whole going out to get drunk culture is slowly changing. Like I see that with my nephews who are now at a drinking age and stuff like that. And I don't think there's the same emphasis on going out that there used to be.
Tell us a fun story of a dinner party that you hosted and you're like, oh my god. Or have you always had like perfect dinner parties?
Oh no, they're not all perfect. I remember one time my friends and I were actually doing a come dine with me.
All right.
And one of my friends closed the kitchen door just to because I've got a cat and she's sometimes very curious, and he inadvertently the door broke, so we were locked in the kitchen. So we ended up I think we ended up using cutlery to actually get the full lock off the door.
Oh my god.
But one of the people, one of my friends, was having a slight panic attack and kind of smoking out the window because you couldn't cope with it and stuff. So they don't all go to plan. No.
Well, wouldn't you say that those kind of dinner parties are the ones that you're always going to remember? Because obviously you telling us the story. It's one of those things that you're like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. So now, Mark, we are going to move to our next starter, which is a fungi mushroom. How's your Italian? Would you say your Italian?
Oh, awful.
Awful. All right.
But I do know some names of food. That's because I'm interested in that.
Yes,
yeah.
that was good. And or is formaggio, which is cheese.
Yes.
So I'm gonna let you go first.
This looks so good.
This is what obviously people will call it as like a mushroom and cheese bruschetta. As you're a cheese lover, I'll let you go first.
I love mushrooms as well. This is ticking a lot of boxes. Hold on.
Give us the verdict. How good it's gonna be. What would you say is your favorite food apart from cheese?
Apart from cheese, well, cake.
Cake.
Yeah.
Right. So you got sweet tooth.
Massive sweet tooth. Yes. There isn't a week I don't bake.
Okay. Wow.
I'm always baking something. But that I need to kind of hand that out to people as well. So I don't.
Yeah, and we should tell people about the amazing cakes that you'll be making for your friend who's got a
It's
food
got
band.
a cafe. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
So at the moment, I'm doing a couple of bakes a week for him. He's doing really well with his own bakes. We have baked for the past year. We would have just nights baking at my flat, which has been really fun. So he's got some great bakes. He does amazing scones and.
So now there's the question: cream or jam first? Which one goes first?
Oh right, okay. Well.
Are you a true score?
For me, I would probably go with the clotted cream first and then the jam. Yes, just because I find that the clotted cream slides about on the jam, but that's just my personal opinion. But Jordan's scones are actually you wouldn't need anything on them. He does really weird combinations that are lavender, white chocolate, lemon. So good. And then we experimented with a white chocolate, fennel and orange recently. That was so good.
I'm sold. I'm one of the people that don't like fennel in anything that is not baked. But in things that are baked with fennel, I absolutely love it.
So good.
So how are you finding this?
This is delicious. You have to try it.
Mushroom. When you cook for friends, tell us what's the process of your dinner parties. How you plan them. Obviously, we talk about the fact that you like to know the food first, get all the ingredients. But how does a Marc dinner party goes?
Well, usually, so I plan for keeping up with everybody else drinking. So I'm always a bit I need things later on in the evening that aren't a hassle because I can't be bothered after a certain stage. So I have got very good at prepare ahead stuff in terms of that'll maybe make the dessert a couple of days ahead. I might make bread on the day, and then a main that I can kind of throw in the oven. I don't like going to somebody's house for dinner and they're so busy making the foods that you're not actually getting to spend time with them. So I try to avoid that. Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I always say to people the way that I cook is more spontaneous.
Yeah, okay.
I say to people, come to my house, and then suddenly I start running through my cupboards.
But it works out well, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
So, Marc, now we're moving towards our main course, and I know you love cheese, so I got you an original carbonara. How do you cook your carbonara? Before you tuck in, tell us what's your path to cooking out. delicious carbonara?
So I use pancetta usually. I don't do cream.
Good.
So it's parmesan,
Tick.
egg, and bacon basically, and that's it. Sometimes I will add garlic to it. It depends. But yeah, I try and keep it as close to the original as possible.
How long do you say to people here that it takes you to cook a carbonara?
Once the bacon's done, it's a few minutes because it's sort of like you're basically when you're cooking the pasta, you're getting your eggs ready and then it's just combining it, so it's really quick.
I always say to people that carbonara is one of those meals that they are called the 15 minutes meal.
Yes.
Because that's how long it should take.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's very quick. You come back from work, you come back from university, whatever you're doing, boom, 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 go.
Yeah. Apparently, I was hearing that you're not meant to use the spoon. You're meant to use the side of the bowl with pasta.
For carbonara, yes.
Yes.
Spaghetti has to be eaten with a spoon.
Spaghetti has to be eaten with a spoon, right?
A bolognese, if you're having like a spaghetti bolognese.
Okay.
All
I
right.
use a spoon. I'm cheating.
Yeah.
I've got loads on my fork. Oh, that's so good.
There we are. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
So good.
So, what would you say makes a perfect carbonara for you? What? You
Well,
go to a place and eat a carbonara. What would like the boxes that you take for a perfect carbonara?
definitely the crispy bacon. I don't like when the fat's still really fleshy.
Okay.
And I like the way they've done this on top with super crispy bacon. I'm liking that.
Okay.
And I like the sauce to be silky, not dry, but I hate when it's like drowned in sauce. I really don't like that.
I'm not.
This is kind of perfect. I think that's a very, very good carbonara,
And
as you
also,
would expect.
we talk about like obviously we talk about the journey of how food is goes in our lives and stuff like that. And this one of the things, carbonara is one of the things that would you say is like a very reasonable price to make a dish like this? It doesn't cost that much money.
No, it doesn't. And I think a lot of the time with, if you were buying guanciale, I think it becomes expensive. I think but I think if you're using pancetta or you're just using smoked bacon, it's very, very affordable. Eggs are not expensive.
Yeah.
It's not an expensive dish, it's a fast dish. And it's so good, it's like eggs and bacon and cheese.
Yeah.
So good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The best of both worlds.
Yes.
Carbs, cheese, and bacon.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, we couldn't ask for anything else.
It's so good.
And who was your inspiration when it came to food? Was it a famous chef? Was it a TV personality? Was it your mom, your grandma?
So my mum will kill me, but I would say my gran.
Your grandma.
Yes. But then on top of them, if you're looking at chefs and cooks and stuff, it was Delia Smith, who I think now is totally forgotten about, and she's amazing.
She was.
I'm just not interested in selling her lifestyle. She was just so interested in teaching people. I think that gets forgotten. And I love Nigella.
Yeah.
I love
we had
it.
Nigella stand here. Every
Yes.
podcast people are saying Nigella.
Oh, I
is their
love
favorite.
Nigella. I love her whole attitude to food.
So
This is
so far, 1 out of 10, what you give to our famous.
No, that's right up there. I mean, that is an amazing carbonara. So
Excellent.
yes.
That's very good. If you have to choose between carbonara with cream and carbonara with egg, which one would you go for?
Oh, egg.
Egg.
Yeah.
What is the reason behind it? Is it because it tastes better, the texture, consistency?
I think the thing is about the cream is that it dulls the flavours, so you don't get the same richness of the bacon and the other flavours that are in there. So it's less punchy when you add cream, I think, and it does run the risk of making it kind of soupy, which I just am not for.
So now we move to, now you have enjoyed your carbonara, so now it's my turn to share with you this amazing dish, which is a seafood pasta. Are you happy to eat with your hands, or are you a person that you prefer cutlery? You like to tuck in and eat your food?
Yeah, I do actually quite like to use my hands, as long as there's like a water bowl or something or a wee tissue on side. Yeah, I'm very happy to get stuck in.
And what would you say is your favorite seafood? You have to choose between all the different types of seafood.
Well, that's difficult. I'm such a fan of smoked salmon. That's kind of what I love it. I eat a lot.
Any shellfish in particular? We got some mussels here.
Got mussels,
We got some langoustine.
langoustine. I think I do enjoy prawns, langoustine, that sort of thing. A
Well, so I'm going, as our guest, I'm gonna give you the honors to start first, and then you go and choose your lovely langoustine. We got a plate here that you can put the shells.
Thank you. I might go for a mussel because I've not had mussels in so long. How about that if I take one of these?
And then now we talk about the food that we have tried so far. So let's start with the starters. Which one is the winning? The arancini or the mushroom?
So I have to say the mushroom took me by surprise. Even though I love arancini, I know I love arancini, but I would never make that at home. And it was just so good with all that cheese and mushroom.
Creamy.
Yes, so good, so rich.
And now for the main course.
Oh, they're very different. They're two very different spaghetti dishes.
That's a diplomatic answer.
Yes.
I like the carbonara.
I love the carbonara, but I like the seafood as well. I like a lot, but that I would think is. So if you were asking me in summer, that would be my favourite, and the carbonara, if you were asking me in winter, that would be my favourite. So it's very seasonal.
What would you say is your favourite food from around the world?
To be honest, I probably would go Italian. Yeah, like you picked very well with this place because if there's a food that I think is guaranteed to make me happy and not feel stressed, it's Italian. Yeah.
So we make that's a good start. So Mark, we are coming to the end. Sadly, this is our last dish that we're gonna try today, but it's the famous limoncello cheesecake. How do you feel about limoncello?
Love it.
You love limoncello? Are you good? One of the things I always ask people, are you one of those people that love to put alcohol into your food when you're cooking, or you just put alcohol when it's required?
Yeah, I think I only put it in when it's required.
Okay.
But I always, with something, that's got a wee bit of alcohol in it, I always think it's good to have a wee something alongside it as well. Like, that's always good.
So alcohol with alcohol,
Yeah.
just to pair it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are a very thoughtful man. So, what is the dish that you have cooked with alcohol that you surprise yourself? You're like, ooh, that tastes nice by adding a wheat cherry or wine. Is there anything that you have cooked?
I think actually I put some sambuca in a dessert once, and it was really, really nice.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good. But I've also had a bad experience adding alcohol recently.
All right.
Because I'm not a massive fan of like whiskey.
Okay.
And I was making Kranakin, so I was doing it like a Kranakin roulade. It was all going very, very well until I added whiskey to the cream, which I thought like just a little amount, but it turned out to be.
2 shots.
But I wasn't over generous, and it was Lafroig. So when I ate it, it just tasted like smoke. Like I hadn't realised it wasn't the right thing.
Have you tried fruit with alcohol, like poached pears in Calvados?
Oh yes, it's delicious.
And with some cheese. I know you like cheese. I know cheese as a dessert, some people find it a bit like, I don't know why. But do you think cheese board is a dessert?
Oh, I like it, yeah. My dad's French, so we're very pro dessert then cheese board.
Yeah. Is there any food that you have tried that people put alcohol that you were like, oh, they shouldn't have alcohol, it will probably taste better with alcohol?
Well, I think sometimes things like, I think earlier on I was actually speaking to you about risotto, I think you can overdo the alcohol in that and it completely affects the flavour. So I think sometimes you can taste it and it kind of has gone a wee bit wrong. But sometimes less is more, I think. When it's
less is more, there we are. Definitely not less food. We love
we love the
more
food.
Food is better.
Yes.
Right, so fingers crossed that it's not going to have too much limoncello. I'll let you go first. Have the first bite.
I don't think there's much chance of too much limoncello.
There we are. So how are you finding this cheesecake?
So delicious. I love the limoncello lemon curd.
Yeah, lemon curd, yeah, wonderful.
So good.
And how will you describe you? Obviously, you talk about that you both a cook and a baker.
Yes.
How would you describe the strength between the two there? If somebody wanted to give you a score on how good of a baker you are or a cook, which one gets the winning prize? Are you a better cook than a baker, or would you say you are a baker?
I would say I'm a baker at heart. Yes, yes. I think I would care more about the score I got in the baking than
the cooking.
Yes.
Okay. And how are you finding this limoncello?
Oh, so good. I'm loving the curd around it and the way they put the little.
Is it boozy enough? you think needs more?
I think you could go with more.
Have more.
I think you
Maybe
can
have a
always-
short little
Yeah.
chat on the side.
yeah,
Definitely.
Next time.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Marc, for joining us today. Before we go, tell the people what you're doing, what's next.
So I've got a few different projects on the
Right.
go, just so it's
Amazing.
quite exciting. So I'm doing the bakes for my friend. So his cafe is Howling Metal,
Okay.
and it's on the side of the Clyde. So have a wee look out for it.
Excellent.
And I am also doing a project for Alzheimer's Scotland. So
Wow.
I'm collecting recipes from anyone that has or had dementia or Alzheimer's, and I'm trying to compile them into a book to raise funds for charity.
That's wonderful.
And then the other thing that I'm going to be doing is hopefully some cooking therapy classes with one of my friends. So watch this space. That is hopefully happening this summer.
Fantastic. That's really good to hear. It's nice to see that you put in food for a good cause. I mean, food is a great cause on its own, but it's good that you're putting food for a good cause. Thank you so much for being with us today, and we hope you carry on with your amazing projects. We can't wait to see what else you bring in, and hopefully the next time you have a dinner party, you're gonna be inspired by this wonderful food that we tried.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Matt.